Right now at 6, increasing security this homecoming weekend for La Follette students as police make arrests connected to this week's shooting nearby. And the end of an era, closing the doors to a place known as the birthplace of modern astrophysics.
This is News 3 at 6.
Topping our news tonight, La Follette High School administrators will be increasing security measures this weekend for homecoming. It comes after a pair of shootings near the school within 7 days of one another. And now the district isn't taking any chances. Rose Schmidt live at La Follette High School. She joins us now to explain. Rose?
Eric, there are going to be 5 or 6 extra police officers here tonight to monitor any security concerns. The school tells us that they're not expecting anything to happen, but it's just a precaution. Madison police have arrested 3 people in connection with the shooting that happened in a neighborhood close to the school earlier this week. They believe 2 groups of people prearranged a fight and someone brought a handgun. The victim and one of the people arrested were both La Follette students. Police say it's been a tough week for them and their children.
We've seen more and more troubling instances happen, and us parents have decided we can't do this negative stuff anymore. Our kids can't handle it. They need positive.
All students had to go through metal detector wands this morning. Sherry and other parents brought hundreds of donuts to spread some positivity. Now, neighbors tell us that teenagers regularly fight in a neighborhood close to this high school, and the Glendale Neighborhood Association plans on having a community meeting on Monday night with police and members of the school board. The homecoming game here starts tonight at 7 o'clock, and La Follette will take on Verona. All right, I'm sending it back to you, Eric.
Rose Schmidt reporting live near La Follette High School. Rose, thank you. New tonight, the parent who walked into his daughter's Shorewood Elementary School classroom and handed the teacher a piece of cardboard with the word gun written on it will not face jail time. In court yesterday, Jonathan Fitzgerald pleaded guilty by no contest to 1 count of disorderly conduct. Today, he was sentenced to 200 hours of community service. According to a criminal complaint in February, Fitzgerald told the teacher in front of the students, quote, "You just let a gunman into your school." If Fitzgerald does not complete the community service, he will have to serve 25 days in jail. U.S. Representative Mark Pocan says the 83 people detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Wisconsin are just a fraction of the people that ICE is tracking here in Wisconsin. Congressman Pocan met with officials from ICE following the agency's 4-day operation in the state earlier this week. He says ICE could not tell him how many agents are working in Wisconsin or even in his district or the names of the people who were detained, but did say ICE has a list of 250 people they're targeting in the state. Pocan says he'll continue to press the agency for more information on their operations in Wisconsin. A gas line was involved in a fire this morning at a home on the near west side. The Madison Fire Department says it responded to the fire on Nakoma Road around 7:30 after a neighbor reported seeing flames. Crews say the fire involved a gas line on the back exterior of the home. No one was home at the time of that fire. The cause and estimated damage are still being investigated. We're learning more today about a downtown revitalization plan for the city of Janesville. Today, the city unveiled its $30 million investment initiative, included a 10,000 square foot legacy center commemorating the history of the GM plant along the eastern bank of the Rock River. The area, which will be renamed SoCo, stands for South of Court Street. It'll also feature new restaurants as well as law offices, retail space, a daycare, and condominiums. Hundreds of children are helping welcome a new police station into their community. The new Madison Midtown Station became operational earlier this month. It's at the site of the former Mount Olive Lutheran Church on Mineral Point Road. Today, nearly 500 kids from Our Lady Queen of Peace took part in the welcoming ceremony.
We're constantly doing reach out. We're constantly finding people to welcome into our parish, into our school. And what better way to do what we do best, and that's welcome the police department.
The Midtown Station, which cost more than $10 million, had been in the works for the last 4 years. Yerkes Observatory in southeastern Wisconsin is known as the birthplace of modern astrophysics and draws in the public with its detailed architecture and the biggest lens telescope in the world. But if you'd like to make a visit, your time is running out. Our Maddie O'Neill reports.
It's a great day.
A great day to take a look around Yerkes Observatory.
A large part of the community is what it is today because of the observatory being here and the influence of the people.
Dave Denton grew up here in Williams Bay, he says, in the shadow of Yerkes Observatory, established in the late 1800s as a facility for the University of Chicago researchers to look to the sky for new discoveries.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Yerkes Observatory. This place is all about astronomy. Probably the most important discovery. We live in a spiral galaxy. Would like to answer any questions that you might have about life, the universe, or anything.
Tour guides like Richard Dreiser,
It is.
who has been doing this for nearly 39 years,
And we'll be starting in just about a minute.
have seen a record-breaking number of visitors lately.
I really am losing my voice.
Dreiser doesn't need a telescope to see why.
I'm getting a little more emotional today than I thought I'd be.
It's clear time is running out.
Just until the 1st of October.
Yerkes Observatory has been open to the public for decades. But soon the doors to this historic building will be closed.
Sure, it's kind of a shock.
This is one of the last tours before they end this weekend.
Favorite part about being here is just to see it one more time, because it's pretty cool inside. You know, the old architecture and the telescope.
That telescope, the largest in the world about a century ago, can't keep up with new technology.
We suspected it might happen.
The University of Chicago says despite the facility's important history, it no longer contributes directly to its research mission. So while the university is cutting ties, visitors are taking one last look before unknown days ahead.
It's going to be sad not to come in to do tours.
And I certainly hope that, that parts of it endure, so people can see it.
In Williams Bay,
Whatever happens is for the best.
Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
The University of Chicago tells us in a statement it is working toward options for a new long-term steward for the property. A group formed this summer is working to continue education programs at the observatory not affiliated with the university. The last tours are tomorrow, with the facility closing October 1st. And still to come tonight at 6, the governor announcing another $1 million in assistance for flood relief. This as FEMA officials continue their tour around southern Wisconsin. We'll check in with them when we return. Governor Scott Walker announcing this afternoon a $1 million flood relief assistance fund for the counties most impacted by this summer's floods. There are many counties included, one of those being Sauk County, and that's where FEMA spent the past couple of days assessing the damage, and that's where Jamie Perez spent the day. She joins us now with more details on where we go from here. Jamie?
So there are 18 counties covered by that $1 million fund. Now, while that money does help, it won't be enough to help everyone get back on their feet entirely. FEMA spent the past couple of days getting an overall sense of all the damage that happened in Sauk County.
Hello.
Well, looks
How are
like
you?
the crowd is here.
Oh yes, we come with friends. So my name's Sean. I'm with Wisconsin Emergency Management. We have Kent with FEMA. Hello. And then a couple other representatives from the Small Business Administration. Okay. We're just kind of out throughout the county, just trying to get an idea of some of the damage that occurred following the flooding over the past couple weeks.
Okay.
This is pretty much what these guys have been doing for the past several days in Sauk County.
You guys have reported some flooding stuff. Are you around?
As they go door to door.
We saw that you had some reports of some flood damage, both to your home and to your business. Do you mind telling us a little bit first about the damage to your home?
Discovering some of the hardest hit areas.
Had a little over 5 feet of water in the basement.
Building a report to send for a major disaster declaration.
Extensive damage.
That's Jeff. He's the Sauk County Emergency Management Director. As all of this goes on,
There's no doubt in my mind.
no doubt they'll find all that extensive damage that he just mentioned.
Many displaced families right now, either in hotels or living with families. So that's just really going to justify what we sent into the state to get this preliminary damage assessment to happen.
Even though Governor Scott Walker is issuing $1 million to 18 counties, it's going to take a lot more than that, even just here in Sauk County.
Our estimate was $8.7 million.
Yeah, a lot more.
A lot of people here need a lot of help, so this is that first step in trying to get some federal aid in to assist the residents of our county.
With the FEMA request, after seeing all this, they just hope it'll bring more funding in the near future.
Never bring them back to whole, bring them back to the way their homes and houses were before, but we can at least try to assist them through that process.
For a full list of the 18 counties who are getting financial help from that $1 million, you can check out our website at channel3000.com. And Jeff also wanted to remind people of the Sauk County Emergency Fund. They are still looking for extra funding and assistance to get everything as back to normal as possible, and they can use all the help they can get.
Jamie Perez reporting in studio with us tonight. Jamie, thank you. More to come tonight at 6. Ahead in sports, a preview of our Prep Mania Game of the Week, and we'll hear from head coach Mike McCarthy ahead of this weekend's Packer game against the Buffalo Bills.
And it is the 41st edition of the Fall Jefferson Car Show and Auto Swap. And I know some of us have had to swap out the light coat for the heavy coat. We'll talk about a frosty start possibly to the festivities tomorrow in your forecast next.
It's
Welcome back. A look at our Coats for Kids campaign numbers. And with your help, we have now collected more than 2,550 coats and winter accessories. If you'd like to get a hold of a coat, our distribution event starts Tuesday, October 16th at the Community Action Coalition's headquarters on North Stoughton Road. It will be a bit of a cool weekend. Dave Caulfield joining us now with some cool cars for this cool weekend in Jefferson. Dave?
Well, Eric, I have the coat on inside here at the Activities Center at the Jefferson County Fair Park, where the festivities will be taking place over the next couple of days. Things have wrapped up on this Friday, but it's going to be a chilly weekend to enjoy these cool cars that you see behind me and maybe buy one of your own. These have some hefty price tags, though, just from one non-expert to another out there. So let's take a look at the forecast over the next couple of days. Sunshine arrives on Saturday, but some of us could be off to a frosty start. More on that in just a little bit. And we'll be in the 50s again on Sunday with possibly some showers and thunderstorms. So you may need to bring an umbrella to the car show and auto swap festivities. So we do have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow morning, for Saturday morning. Because of these temperatures, just take a gander at them. You may have to bring those plants. You probably should bring those plants and pets inside tonight, because lows starting off in the mid-30s. Even some of us, not out of the question that we see temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s as we start off our Saturday. Frost and freeze bulletins. Most of us under a frost advisory. A select few, namely Juneau, Adams, and Marquette counties, under freeze warnings for tomorrow morning. And it's really a perfect storm setup when it comes to this frost, because we're seeing those clouds decreasing. The winds have been letting up, and with high pressure overhead, that's a good recipe to get some frost forming. Last year, our first frost was in the middle of October, so we're definitely running a little bit of ahead of schedule in that regard. Doppler track is quiet. The rain has moved out. We don't need to worry about that coming back into the forecast until Sunday. Downtown Madison, looking at a little bit more sunshine compared to the last hour on the Edgewater Skycam. The almanac for today, highs in the mid-50s, so about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than we should be for this time of year, and temperatures staying cool over the next few days in the 50s for Saturday and Sunday. Right now, 50 even in Madison and the Dells, and in Jefferson as well. 54 in Janesville. That's a big temperature change compared to this time yesterday, about 10 to 15 degrees across the board, across southern Wisconsin. And those winds that were gusting a little bit today have really calmed down. 3 in Madison, 9 in Monroe, and 7 in Mineral Point. So let's take a look at your forecast. Your frost freeze forecast, we could be looking at likely frost. I think we'll see likely a widespread frost as we head into tomorrow. Some of us, a patchy hard freeze, especially north of Madison. So for tonight, temperatures will get down into the mid-30s. Frost likely, clear and chilly outside. If you're coming out to the car show tomorrow in Jefferson, starts at 6 a.m. So make sure you bundle up. Increasing clouds tomorrow and continued chilly with highs in the mid-50s. We could be dealing with another round of rain showers as we head into later on Saturday, but I do think we'll see the sunshine for most of the day on Sunday, or on Saturday, I should say. The clouds do come in for Sunday, and that's what we could see on future tracks. So temperatures only in the mid-50s for highs tomorrow, and then that round of showers late Saturday into Sunday. Future track temperature starting off in the 30s for tomorrow morning, so watch out for that frost possibility. And highs in the 60s and 70s as we head into the start of next week, with plenty more chances for showers and even a few thunderstorms. But we are here at the Madison Classics Fall Jefferson Car Show and Auto Swap Meet, the 41st annual, and a lot to do here, whether it's buy or sell a classic car or get advice on what to do with a classic car. Maybe you're looking for a part or something like that. The education side of this is really what makes this so special, according to organizers. Saturday from 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. and Sunday 6 a.m. to 3. So early risers here in Jefferson is going to be a little bit chilly, that's for sure. If you're like me and just want to look at the cool cars in store and have no interest in buying them, then the Activity Center may be the place for you. We have 2 Buick Skylarks behind us here. The blue one's a 53, the white one is a 54, and I heard from organizers that this car right here, this white car, has gone up in value $100,000 in just the last 5 or 6 years. So if you're looking to get your hands on a car like this, I asked for the final price tag. It's going to be around $150,000. Eric, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, coming up in sports, we've got a three-way tie brewing in one conference for Week 7. A live preview from our Prep Mania Game of the Week crew. That's next in sports.
I'm Amanda Quintana. Tonight on the news at 9, there's a push to get kids active and healthy by using a really popular video game. We're talking about Fortnite Fitness tonight on Fox 47 News at 9.
News 3.
Well, it's another big week in the Big 8, a three-way tie for first place, so plenty at stake as we head into Week 7. News 3's Jay Wilson joining us from one of those matchups at Middleton tonight. Hey there, Jay.
Hi, Melissa. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, and Middleton's just a game behind, so there are 5 teams in the Big 8 within a game of the top. So it's been a mess all year in the standings, and that figures to be the case the final 3 weeks of the regular season here. Alan Minard, Bill Brophy, as usual, joining us. And Brophy, this game could go really fast because we're going to see the 2 top running backs in the Big 8 conference.
Yeah, it's well, Middleton's got a more diverse offense, more conventional offense, I guess, for viewers. Bryce Carey's a guy who can throw it as well as run it. He's the quarterback. And Keon Brilliant, he's run for over 700 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had 3 last week. Meanwhile, Craig is pretty much a run team. They play smash mouth football. On defense, you got Keanu Benton, a UW recruit, so people might want to tune in to see a big defensive lineman. But on offense, they run the ball. They've only thrown it for 180 yards all year. That's in 6 games. But they're in the playoffs. They had their eyes on a share of the Big 8 title. We couldn't find out the last time Janesville Craig had a piece of the Big 8 title. It was before Al Minard, so we know it was a long time ago. But Craig has their visions on at least tying or catching Memorial and Sun Prairie and winning the crown in the Big 8 this year.
I didn't think there was anything before Alan Minard, but apparently that's it. Okay, Craig runs the ball all over time, but it's a unique kind of run that's hard to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a multiple option attack. So again, they're the only team in the league that runs the option. So it's going to be a diversified attack in terms of formations, multiple formations. The hardest thing is to get your own kids to simulate it. You can watch a lot of film, but it's very hard to find the football, and they have to key on their responsibilities. So 2 good football teams on a really good night.
It's a broadcaster's nightmare, too, when you can't see where they hand it off. But we'll give it a shot. Janesville, Craig, and Middleton, 7 o'clock, TVW Channel 3000.com. Melissa, back to you.
All right, excellent. Looking forward to it, Jay. Thank you so much. Well, now to the Packers, a tricky Bills squad coming to Lambeau this week. Buffalo coming off of a big win against the Vikings in Minnesota. Now, Nick Perry and Randall Cobb both listed as questionable in today's injury report. Packers, meanwhile, they'll aim to bounce back after losing at Washington last week. So what's practice been like this week? Well, according to head coach Mike McCarthy, not too different from the usual.
I thought that the fundamental work was really good. They cranked it up in the 1-1 pass rush, which you really like to see in the 9-on-7. So I mean, I wouldn't say there's anything abnormally different. I mean, those guys are getting ready to play like they do each and every week. It's more in how it all fits together.
Well, a chilly afternoon earlier today, reigning NCAA champion Georgia Ellenwood in the house supporting her former teammates at the Nuttycombe Invitational. The ladies pressing forward mid-course and Alicia Monson snagging the top spot on the women's side. She finishes more than 2 seconds ahead of Wayne Kalati from New Mexico. On the men's side, the Badgers hoping to represent on their home turf as well in the championship 8K. Morgan McDonald doing just that in the front. They're keeping pace for Wisconsin. He crosses the finish line first, edging out Iowa State's Edwin Kurgat by 9/10 of a second. Badgers get the sweep in both the men's and women's races. It's the first time a school has swept the individual titles in the event's 10-year history. And the runners themselves, well, they're not done yet.
We're just looking to continue improving, and we know that we can't just stop now. We need to keep looking forward to our end goals.
There's going to be a lot of hype now. It's crazy. It's so early in the season. Our goal is postseason, so I do think we just need to, this week we'll be back in training, back to putting in work, so hopefully we can just keep improving as the season goes on.
Well, final series of the regular season tonight. The Cubs already beat the Cardinals earlier tonight, so the Brewers are now a game and a half behind the Cubs. Here's a look at your pitching matchups for tonight. First pitch in a little more than half an hour away at 7:10 at Miller Park. So big weekend for baseball here.
It sure is. All right, Melissa, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.